A teenager was kidnapped in Arkansas, taken to a house in North Little Rock where they tied him to a chair in the basement and then forced him to play Russian roulette. One of the 3 adults that kidnapped this teenager was allegedly 54-year-old Robert Ellard, who was the director of financial aid at Pulaski Tech College in Arkansas until he did this stupid shit. Let's get into it, shall we? An 18-year-old from Little Rock drove to his girlfriend's house in Sherwood. When the teenager arrived to his girlfriend's house in Sherwood, allegedly 23-year-old Jackson Homan put his arms around the victim's neck and tried to pull him out of the car. The victim was then forced to walk to the back of the house where he heard the sound of and then felt the barrel pushed against his back. He was then forced to get into a car with 23-year-old Jackson Homan, 20-year-old Charles Homan, and 54-year-old Robert Ellard. According to documents, Jackson and Charles sat in the front and Robert sat in the back with the victim. And the victim had pointed at him the whole time. While busting the block and pretending to be the stars of a gangster film, they took the victim's cell phone and threw it into a pond. They then took the victim to a house in North Little Rock. Once they arrived at the house, they took the victim downstairs to the basement and tied him to a chair with an extension cord. The 3 stooges turned wannabe mafia members then forced the teenage victim to play Russian roulette while threatening him that if he didn't break up with his girlfriend and move away from Little Rock, they were going to him and his whole family. They then take the victim to North Little Rock High School and just drop him off. At which point he obviously calls the police, and when the police get to him, they can see bruising and cuts on him that are consistent with being kidnapped and restrained, just as he claimed. Now, allegedly, supposedly, I don't know shit about fuck, it would appear that Jackson here was the best friend of the victim's girlfriend's deceased brother, and it would appear, allegedly, supposedly, I don't know shit about fuck, that Robert here is engaged to the victim's girlfriend's mother. Personally, I would love to hear more about the details that led to this situation. I'm sure they're insane. Anywho, if you live in Little Rock or Central Arkansas in general, I probably wouldn't let your teenage son date this teenage girl, for obvious reasons. So, thanks for choosing facts over fuckery. I will see you guys on the next video.